So we are looking at a technique today that's going to help us for factoring tomorrow. And the technique we're looking at is called the magic X. So the magic X is a method that is essentially a side part to factoring. So what you do is you create an X. So on your paper, you're going to draw in an X. And on that X, you have two parts. You have the product and the sum. So product is just a fancy word for multiplication. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to fill in a number on the top, fill in a number on the bottom, and figure out what numbers go on the side. So we're going to have an X, and there's going to be 4 numbers in this X. And the numbers on the sides are going to multiply to give me the top number, and they're going to add to give me the bottom number. So in this case, I have a -3 on the left and a +9 on the right. So the top number is -3 times 9, which is -27. The bottom number is -3 plus 9, or 6. So they multiply to the top, they add to the bottom. The problems we're going to look at in this class, for the most part, are going to be filled in so that we are given the top number and we're given the bottom number, and we need to figure out the sides. So I need to figure out a number that multiplies to 12 and adds to 7. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to 12 and add to 7. Any thoughts? Okay. Perfect. 4 and 3. Okay. A number on the left and right that multiply to -18 and add to -7. Now, if your top number is negative, that means that one of your 2 numbers that you're multiplying is negative, because a negative times a positive is a negative. If the bottom number is negative and the top is negative, then it means the bigger number that you're multiplying is negative. So any thoughts on 2 numbers that multiply to -18 and add to -7? So what are numbers that multiply to 18? So you have 6 and 3. So will 6 and 3 get me to -7? No. How about 9 and 2? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So you're going to use a -9 because the larger is negative, and a +2. And then tomorrow you'll see how we use these 2 numbers that we put off to the sides. Today we're just working through and getting there. Okay, what about if you're given a top and the side? How could you figure out the other side? If you multiply the 2 numbers on the sides to get the top, if you're given the top and a number on the side, we're we're going to use the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. So we're going to take negative 30, divide it by 2 to get negative 15. Once I have the two sides, I add them together to fill in my bottom, that is negative 13. Okay, so I need two numbers that multiply to negative 10 and add to 3. Since the top is negative, one of my numbers is negative and the other is positive. Any guesses? Hannah? Good. Now which one's negative? Yep. So negative 2 and a positive 5. -24, -10. So again, if the top number is positive and the bottom number is negative, then both of my multipliers have to be negative. Because a negative times a negative is a positive. So 6 and 4. And then the second part that we need in order to introduce tomorrow's lesson is GCF. GCF stands for the greatest common factor. So it's the largest number you can divide by and the highest power exponent you can take out. So don't worry about the definitions today, they're in tomorrow's notes, so you don't have to copy these down. But let's look at an example, because for tonight, you need to be able to identify what is the GCF. So what numbers divide into 6 and 18? They both divide by what? They both divide by 2. So that's correct. Is 2 the largest number that divides into both? No. What's a little bit bigger that would also divide into 6 and 18? What? Okay, 3 works. So 2 and 3 are what we call multiples of these numbers. What other number can you divide them by? 5? Yeah. So 2, 3, and 6 are all multiples of 6 and 18 that they have in common. The GCF is going to be the largest of those multiples. So the GCF is 6. What we're going to do is we're going to factor out the GCF. Factoring out means we are basically dividing it into each of those numbers. So you're going to bring the 6 out in front. Or you can think of factoring out, kind of like distributing in reverse. So 6 divided by 6 is 1x. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So the factored form of 6x plus 18 is 6 times x plus 3. So this example is pretty similar. 9x minus 81. Both of those can divide by the number 9. So 9 is my GCF. It's the largest number that divides into both. So 9x divided by 9 leaves you with x. 81 divided by 9 leaves you with 9. So factored form is 9 times the quantity x minus 9. And that is our last example. The rest of the time we have, you can work on tonight's homework. I have it printed out for you.